All right, here in assignment 2, we're going to find some random spot. Actually, not going to be random. We're going to choose it. And we're going to throw up a weather balloon, record the data, and then we're going to plot the data. And then from there, identify layers that we've talked about in the online lecture. So we're going to apply the learning. So what I want you to do is first off, find the data by selecting the date of your choosing, and so this allows a calendar, so you can go to the current whenever you might be, whenever you might be landing on this page, or you can go back in time. In this case, this particular goes all the way back to 1973. So a massive amounts of data could be available, and so not all sites have available every single day, but let's stick to the most recent. You'll typically get good stuff to work with and to complete this assignment. Next up is the hour, and just kind of choose your whatever, but I like sticking to 00Z or 12Z. Make sure here the output type, it might be automatically text list. Change it to comma separated values. And then I want you to come over here and choose wherever you want in the world. And so the blue, those are place marks that denote BUFR, which is essentially what we're using now, what's being used now as far as the data entry, data type, and format, and all of that. The green or the teals being phased out, sort of a 20th century, but still applicable. I suggest using the blue, but go ahead and you can use both to complete this assignment. The data might be quite different, though, so that's something to keep in mind. I'm just going to choose a random place. I don't know. Let's go to, let's see, Amarillo by morning. Who's singing? And so that should have popped up a new tab. And so the new tab, and that new tab should be an Excel spreadsheet. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to open up that Excel spreadsheet, and then we're going to go from there. So whenever you did that, if you would have followed those same rules, you would have come across a spreadsheet looking something similar. And so over here is time. Then we have Latin long, so it's going to give our location. Pressure, not important for this assignment. Very important for this assignment. Geopotential underscore M. That means we're working with meters. And then over here, temperature underscore C. That means we're working with Celsius. So we're going to be working with meters. And this should be ascending as we go from the, let's say, E2 all the way down. We should see an ascending height, and then temperature is going to be varied, and of course that's what we're doing here. What I want you to do is I want you to highlight E, or in this case the height column. It might be different for you once again if you're doing the teal or the green. And then I want you to highlight the temperature. Highlight both of those and then go to Insert. Then over here to Scatter. You can choose either the smooth or the straight lines. Let's go ahead and just do smooth. And you'll note that the graph might look like this, which isn't exactly how we have a temperature profile. If you see them from the online lecture, they don't look like this. So let's make it look like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click inside this box, and I'm going to right click, select data, remove, add, and I'm going to make sure the series name, the blinker, is there. I'm going to go to temperature C. Just click in that box just one time. Now I'm going to come down in here and click in the series X values. And I'm going to go to the very top, to the very first value. In this case, it's in F2. I'm going to left click and hold down. And as I hold down, I'm also going to move down. And I'm going to move in this case, my plus sign or my cursor so that it's beyond the screen, and that's going to help me move faster. And so I'm going to go down. Let's see, how far is this going to go? Okay. Come on, this is taking 10 seconds. It should be quicker than this. Oh no, oh no. I'm burning up calories, 3 calories, 4, 5, 6. As we go all the way down to the bottom, boy, this is a big rate. This is a big one. So some of them are not always this big. So I got a lot of data here. All right. So now I'm going to then go to the series Y values, make sure my blinker is there. I'm going to go all the way back to the top, and we'll do that again, so get used to that. And in this case, we're going to do this whole process again. I'm going to left click inside, but I'm not doing the title. Notice I'm not doing the title. I'm doing E2, the first data point underneath the height title, the height descriptor. And now I'm going to hold it and go all the way down. And for the sake of time, I'll see you at the end. Okay, I'm at the end. I'm going to now let go, and that then should then pop up this box. Hit OK. Hit OK. Now we're going to go all the way back to the top, and we should see now something that looks like a temperature profile that we've seen in the lecture, that we've seen wherever, while you're walking down the street. All right, so here we have on the bottom temperature, 0 to 40, that means positive, and then negative temperature, and then this is elevation or altitude, as we say. So as we go up, temperature goes down. That's what we should totally expect in the troposphere. And then there's a change or a pause at the tropopause, in which now all of a sudden we see temperatures increasing as we go up in altitude. And so this is a temperature profile. Yours should end up looking like this for whatever particular place. Now it will look different, and I'll go through some examples here in a minute. Now let's get this looking nice, and so we can then format it, edit it, and make it presentable for submission here. All right, and so we've got our top. Just go ahead, we can click in that. I double clicked, and we can change our title. And so atmospheric temperature profile Dodge. No, not Dodge City. Amarillo, Texas. Oh, let's do that. The date, I don't even know. Whatever. You obviously want to be much more precise than this. And I was like, what, 00Z, or Z, I believe, was mine. Whatever. So that's just an idea of a title. Okay. Now I want you to go to the plus sign, Access Titles, and we're going to add at the bottom temperature. And we are in Celsius. And then over here, the axis title, the y-axis height, and we are in meters. Cool. Go to the plus sign, add a legend, and now we can then from here go ahead and add the layers. You can do this whatever way you want. And you don't have to do the methods that I'm going to do. I'm going to do here in a minute. So all you have to do is essentially make a box or an area that says, okay, this here is where the troposphere is. This is a line that shows where the tropopause is. And then here, this region here is the stratosphere. And so you can do that by actually drawing on this and then, I don't know, taking a picture of it and submitting the picture. Or you can throw this into PowerPoint or some other thing that you can draw pictures on and do that. You can maybe put it into some type of tablet and write on it there. Or you can then essentially just use what's available here. And it's kind of clunky. It's not super user friendly, but we'll go ahead and do this right now. So the insert, go to text box, and I'm going to try my best. I can change this. I can change the height. So I'm going to do right about there. So then that, come over here, line, solid line. I'm going to make this red, let's say. Make it a little thicker so it's viewable. Cool. And then I would want to add a box in there. So what I can write in strat. No. Whoa. Troposphere. What am I doing? This is the troposphere. And then I could then draw another line, or sorry, I could draw another box, by insert, text box. And now we're going to do the stratosphere. And it'd be logical to do a different color. And of course, you could make this look really nice by centering that there or there if you would want. And you can play around with that in the text options. But that's not needed. You just, to achieve the goals and the full credit for this assignment, just do the objectives here. Then lastly, we're going to insert, and we'll go do another text box. We'll make it very small. Let's make it a solid line. This time blue. and that's the tropopause. Right click inside the picture, save as picture, and however you want to do it, as far as saving it, as far as what name. But it'd be best to keep it standardized, just do PNG. But whatever might be work best for you. There's several different options. Just upload that to your submission and then respond to those questions, and you're good. Let me here real quickly compare some types of ones you might see. So this is for a particular area. This is Antarctica, I believe. And so here it's got a little bit lower, only about 10K is where we see the tropopause. Maybe others you might see it at higher, 15K even. But what's happening here is just some cloud cover, maybe some ground level stuff, and then we have the typical pattern as we go up. So in the polar areas, a little thinner troposphere, as we've noted. Then we have the typical stratosphere. And this, although this, might look like it's the start of the mesosphere and the stratopause, these balloons, they gotta, to get up to that level, that's 50K. These balloons are popping by that time. So this is maybe some localized things happening in the polar areas. They have what is kind of called a polar stratopause, which is this kind of this natural effect here. So this might be something you see if you choose a random spot. I'm gonna go to another spot in the world. This is close to the Ferrari headquarters, if you're fans of Ferrari in Italy. And so you can see how this profile much different, much lower. I mean, we're only getting up to 16K, and so they're going to vary from one person to the next. And so this is quite common. And so here we see, the troposphere, tropopause, and then very minimal amounts of the stratosphere. But hey, you can identify it. You can still complete this assignment.